Good morning, my wonderful students. How are you all? Welcome back to your grammar class. Today we are going to learn about verbs. Verbs are very important for our next chapters. So let's begin our chapter. What is a verb? A word that describes an action, an event, or a state of being is called a verb. Or you can say all the action words are known as verbs. For example, he told me an interesting story. In this sentence, a story has been told. So what is the action word here? Told. So, told is used as a verb that denotes the action in this sentence. Let us take one more example. She is a doctor. Here, is used as a verb which shows the state of being. This boy seems tired. Seems is a verb that shows the state of the boy. A verb can be one word or more than one word, and it comes after the subject. What is a subject? Subject is the doer. Let us understand this with some examples. He writes a letter. What is the action word here? Writes. So writes is a verb here. He is writing a letter. Here is writing is a verb and it is a group of two words. In next sentence, he has been writing a letter for an hour. So here three words are grouped together to form a verb. This shows that a verb can be a word or a group of words. Clear? Now, let us know about the types of the verbs. Verbs can be categorized under two categories: principal verb and helping verb. Further, principal verb can be categorized under transitive and intransitive, and helping verb can be categorized under auxiliaries and modals. Let us begin with the principal verb. As the name suggests, the verbs that are used to express actions are known as principal verbs or main verbs. It functions as the main verb in the sentence. Let us understand this with some examples. He gave me a book. Here, the action of giving has been done, so that's why gave is a main verb. He told me a story. A story has been told here, so told is a main verb. The child weeps. What is the child doing? Weeping. So weeps is a main verb here. So before moving on to subcategories of main verb or principal verb, let us discuss about the object. You must be wondering why I am teaching you about object when you have already learnt about object in your chapter number 1, that is of sentence. Because transitive and intransitive verbs depends on object. How? That I will tell you later. So, let us revise what is an object. An object is something or somebody that receives an action. Clear? There are two types of object: direct and indirect object. What is a direct object? It is something or somebody that receives an action directly. For example, Sona loves ice cream. What does Sona love? Ice cream. And ice cream is a direct object. Let us take one more example. I met Radha yesterday. Whom did I meet yesterday? Radha. So the question here arises, whom? And whom did I meet? Radha. So Radha is a direct object. So we can say the direct object answers the question what and whom. What for non-living things and whom for living things. What are indirect objects? It is the person that receives the direct object, or you can say it is somebody whom the action is done to or for. Confusing? Let us clear our doubt with some examples. Rohan explained me the question. What has been explained here? A question. So, a question is a direct object. And to whom it has been explained? To me. So, this me is indirect object here. Clear? Let us take one more example. I bought my mother a necklace. What has been bought? A necklace. So, a necklace is a direct object. And for whom I have brought a necklace? For my mother. So, here my mother is an indirect object. What do you learn from direct and indirect object? That you must have a direct object in order to have an indirect object. Clear? Moving on to the verbs, our next category that we are going to learn is transitive verbs. What are transitive verbs? The verbs that require an object to complete their meaning. Is it clear now why I taught you about object? Yes, because transitive verb requires an object to complete their meaning. For example, I wrote a letter. If I leave the sentence like I wrote, what? Is the meaning of the sentence clear? No. Something is left. And what is left? A letter. That is an object. Or we can change the object. I wrote an essay. I wrote my question answers. But I need to answer the question of what I wrote is wrong and I wrote a letter is right. Here, wrote is a transitive verb because it requires an object to complete its meaning. Clear? Let's take one more example. Ruhi draws a picture. If I say Ruhi draws, what? I am confused. You are also confused. Ruhi draws. Ruhi draws what? A picture, a drawing, a cartoon. What? We need an object. So here, draws is a transitive verb. Clear? Okay. Intransitive verbs. What are intransitive verbs? The verbs that do not require any object to complete their meaning. Or these make sense by themselves. How is it possible? Yes, it is possible. See the examples. The child is weeping. What is the verb here? is weeping. Do we require any object for this verb? No. Why? Because no such question arises here. Right? The man laughs. Do we ask a question what or whom? We don't ask any question here. So here in both sentences, is weeping and laughs both are intransitive verbs because they do not require any object to complete their meaning. Am I clear? Moving on to the helping verbs. What are helping verbs? Verbs that either help in the formation of tense or its mood are known as helping verbs. These are used to show the state of being. For example, Suraj is a doctor. Here is shows the state of being and is a helping verb. Workers have done their work. Here have is a helping verb for the main verb that is done. Have is a helping verb here. She can speak 4 languages. Here can is used as a help for the main verb that is speak. So can is a helping verb. Clear? Now, as we know that helping verbs are categorized under auxiliary verbs and modal verbs, so let us discuss about the auxiliary verbs. What are auxiliary verbs? Verbs that help in the formation of tense and mood. All the forms of be, that is, am, are, was, were. All the forms of do, did, does. And all the forms of has, have, had are auxiliary verbs. Clear? Verbs that denote the mode of action of the main verb are known as modal verbs. Can, could, may, might, need, dare, will, shall, should. All these are the modal verbs. We will read about modal verbs in detail in our next video. Till then, only this basic definition. There are incomplete verbs also. What are incomplete verbs or verbs of incomplete predication? Some verbs require some other word or words to complete the predicate. These verbs are known as incomplete verbs or verbs of incomplete predication. Let us understand this with some examples. It looks beautiful. She is sad. The sky appears cloudy. What are the verbs here? Looks, is, and appears. But here, beautiful, sad, and cloudy are not objects, but they are complements to the verbs they follow. Clear? And without these complements, the verbs looks, is, and appears are incomplete. Clear? Our next topic is forms of verbs. As we all know that there are 3 forms of verbs, and these forms can be changed into one another according to the need of sentence. And this process of transforming one form of verb into another is known as conjugation of verbs. Clear? And what are these 3 forms of verb? Either we can say first form, second form or third form, or we can say present form, past form and past participle forms of verbs. Let us discuss some examples. Present form of verb is awake. Its past form is awoke and past participle form is awaken. In the same way, first form of verb is go, second form is went and third form is gone. Say, said, said. Do, did, done. Cut, cut, cut. So, that is all about verbs. I hope the concept of transitive and intransitive verb is clear to you. We will catch up in the next video. Till then, do your exercise neatly in your books. Bye-bye. Take care.